Hi again, everyone. Thank you so much for coming to Primer Cafecito. I'm so excited that you're all here. This is the first event for the initiative, The Story of Latin America, which we will get to know a little bit more once Professor Gallups introduced it. This is a Latin Heritage Month event. We have been organizing this event with the community, and we really want to thank Crystal Tejeda for helping us. She is the director, let me get the title correct. She's the assistant director of diversity, equity, and inclusive, and she's in charge of the committee. And we're really thankful for all the help. So, Primer Cafecito aims to introduce students, first year and transfer students, to all the amazing resources that Baruch offer to create a successful career. And in order to do so, we will have speakers, which I will briefly introduce, which will introduce us to the programs, and we will also share a handbook which we have prepared with the idea of giving you the opportunity and all the information about the resources we will present in and all the resources as student organizations, internships, and more opportunities. You will be receiving the handbook an hour 30 minutes after the event, and we really hope you'll enjoy reading it. So to start, sorry. So as I said, I will be the moderator. I am Daniela Toribio. I am the coordinator of Student Affairs for ISLA, and I'm also a fourth year student on political science and philosophy. I was Professor Gallivan's student, and she's the program director for ISLA. She's also an assistant professor in the political science department. We also have Chelsea Whitby. She's a four-year student as well, and she comes to represent the study abroad office and to tell us a little bit about her amazing experience in the Dominican Republic. We also have Ingrid Dineo from the Star Career Center. She's going to introduce us to the program and all the amazing things that it has to offer, as well as Valeria James, which is from the Fellowship Office. And finally, from the honors programs, we have Harmony Olseed, who will give us the details on how to join as soon as possible. So thank you, everyone, again for coming, and especially to the speakers. I will handle it to Professor Gallo, who will introduce ISLA to us. Professor Gallo, we cannot hear you.
Sorry about that. This is one of those Zoom situations. Yeah. Hi, good morning, everybody. I just wanted to let Daniela know, for technical reasons, I've just made her the host of the meeting because I'm sure there are other people who will be in the waiting room. So please admit people as they come in. Thank you. I also want to thank Daniela, who is our she's our coordinator of student affairs. Primer Cafecito is Daniela's brainchild. So. And she is the creative force behind ISLA's student programming and its social media presence. And she will at some point be able to put ISLA's Instagram on the chat so that you can follow our events as well as Latinx Heritage Month. I'd also like to thank Mrs. Hetty Fight, a longtime and passionate supporter of Baruch and its students, for her generous support of ISLA through the Valentin Lizana Iparragué Fund for Latin American Studies at Weissman. So as Daniela said, I'm Professor Stephanie Golub, an associate professor in political science and director of the Initiative for the Study of Latin America, which we're calling ISLA. And so now I'd like to say a few words to introduce you to ISLA before we move on to the main event, which is to introduce you to the excellent resources here at Baruch to ensure your success in college and in your career. So ISLA's mission is to promote and to elevate the interdisciplinary study of Latin America on the Baruch campus. And central to that mission is to serve our students by demonstrating how building knowledge and expertise about the Latin American and Caribbean region, its peoples and culture, its history, politics, economies, its geographies and environment can enrich your intellectual development as a Baruch student in ways that translate into a meaningful and successful career path after graduation. So you as Baruch students are on a journey of discovery, and this journey has three dimensions. One is to discover the world in all of its complexity, much more in depth than you might have in high school, and also in some ways to add to the experiences that you have in your life. The second is to discover your passions and your interests about the world. right? And this is through studying many different disciplines. And finally, to discover how you want to contribute to the world in your professional life, which we all know this is something that you come to Baruch very focused on, and we at the faculty honor that ambition and that drive that brings you to our campus. So in today's complex and global world, I would argue that it's interdisciplinary approaches, and those are the ones that ask you to view the same phenomenon from multiple perspectives and to place them into historical, cultural, and political context, play a role in all three of these dimensions of discovery. So we at ISLA invite you to consider studying the dynamic and complex Latin American and Caribbean region, and to branch out and take courses you may not have considered in fields like anthropology, sociology, comparative literature, political science, that would enhance careers that you may have considered, such as finance, marketing, and international business. So we hope that you'll start your journey here with us at ISLA, and that we can accompany you all along the way. So one way to do this is through our interdisciplinary minor in Latin American and Caribbean studies. Another way is to study abroad. You'll hear more about that one student's experience, and we hope that this will start soon enough again. Another way is to develop your own research projects through independent study or an honors thesis at Baruch, assisted by professional Baruch librarians at Newman Library and our Writing Center. Or maybe it's through a fellowship, like the Fulbright, maybe leading you to apply to graduate and professional schools. And we'll tell you more about these opportunities later. To set you on this journey, we at ISLA have great plans this year. We want to introduce you to talented faculty studying all facets of the region and to relevant and interesting coursework at Weissman's departments. This will add dimensions to your professional expertise, and to connect you as Baruch students to our inspirational Latinx and Latin American-based alumni network, who we are ready to advise, mentor, and connect you to opportunity. And in fact, just last night, I moderated a discussion, a conversation with two Sao Paulo-based Brazil alumni from Baruch in the Alumni Affairs Zoom series, Viewed from Abroad. One was working in finance and the other one in PR for the healthcare industry. And we have an incredible network centered on the Somos Latinx alumni group. And we're really excited here at ISLA to get you plugged into those, to the alumni network. So stay tuned for more events. We're thinking of brief lunchtime conversations and the like, and other kinds of cafecitos that will help you in a more informal way get to know our alumni and for them to get to know you. We also plan to partner with the amazing people you're going to meet this morning, all of whom work tirelessly to make your Baruch experience the best it can be, so that you can achieve all you set your sights on after graduation. So without further ado, I would like to turn the meeting back over to Daniela to introduce our fantastic speakers. Thank you so much for joining us at this Primer Cafecito. We hope to see you at other cafecitos and other events later on. And Daniela also will share other websites, such as the Baruch Performing Arts Center, for our next big event, as well as Latinx Heritage Month for our next event. We're partnering on that. So thank you, Daniela. Thanks to our speakers for joining us. And thank you to our students for joining us too. Al porvenir, here's to the future, your future. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Golub. I'm so excited. So now we would hear from Chelsea, which has an amazing opportunity to share with us. So Chelsea, take it away.
Thank you, Daniela and Professor Golub, for this opportunity to speak. I'm coming from you today from the Study Abroad office. My name's Chelsea, and I'm a senior at Baruch, majoring in entrepreneurship and minoring in environmental sustainability. So I just want to tell you a bit about the opportunity that I had to study abroad. So, you know, many of you may or may not know, but Baruch does offer many study abroad programs. I know now because of COVID, things are a little bit different, but hopefully these will be back up and running next year, or, you know, while you're still a Baruch student. So one of the programs that they offer is called the Baruch Exchange Program. That's what I had the opportunity to engage in last year. I was able to go to UNIBE, which is in the Dominican Republic. And the exchange programs, they basically work where two students from UNIBE or whatever the host institution is come to Baruch, and then up to two students can go to UNIBE, and you just pay Baruch tuition and you're able to go study abroad for either a semester or a full year. So this program is actually one of the least traveled to programs, which I found quite shocking when I first learned about it. And I had a really amazing experience in the Dominican Republic, so I'm happy that I can share that with you, and hopefully one of you will be able to study there one day as well. So to tell you a bit about the programs they offer, if you're interested in business, they have many classes in business and political science. Pretty much any realm that you're interested in, whatever your major, they have opportunities for you to study. And one of the things that's really interesting is just getting that perspective while you're studying these classes that you'd normally be studying at Baruch. You get a whole new perspective. So for instance, I was able to take an entrepreneurship class in the Dominican Republic where we had to build our own business. And rather than looking at it from the lens of an American perspective, I was able to kind of analyze the businesses in the Caribbean and look at it from that perspective. So it really just opens your eyes to, how businesses are functioning, or whatever your field, how they're functioning in other countries. All right, and then another thing that was an amazing opportunity I had there was to volunteer. And this was actually something that kind of led to me shifting my entire study path and eventually my career path, hopefully. I was able to engage with an organization called PACMA. They're engaged in climate change mitigation in the Dominican Republic. And this was something I actually didn't know too much about before I went, but it spurred my plan to take a minor in environmental sustainability. So, you can really just see how this experience kind of shifted my path at Baruch, and it opened my eyes to all of these other possibilities. I was able to work with students there. We did a waste cleanup project, which you can see here on the right, where we collected bottles and just waste out on the streets, and they were able to transform them into these beautiful sculptures and just kind of learn about how their environment is affecting them and what they can do to better protect it. And then, outside of studies and volunteer work or whatever else it is that you're doing while you're studying abroad, you also have this chance to explore. One of the most amazing experiences I had while I was there was hiking Pico Duarte. It's the tallest mountain in the Caribbean, and no matter where you go to study abroad, whether it be the Dominican Republic, another Latin American country, or elsewhere in the world, you'll have these amazing experiences that you would never be able to have if you were just, staying here in New York. So, I really hope that me sharing this with you motivates you to hopefully want to study abroad in the future. And I'd just like to open the floor to any questions you might have about what it's like studying abroad or about my experience. Thank you so much.
So thank you so much, Chelsea. And so Chelsea needs to leave a little bit early. So if we will move the Q&A session for her a little bit up. So if anyone has any questions, please, this is your moment to speak. You could either unmute yourself or you could share it through the chat.
Hi, Chelsea. This is just great. And I actually am just wondering, why did you decide to go to the Dominican Republic? I really love all the different experiences you had.
Hi, Marcellus. Thanks for the question. So I wasn't necessarily specifically planning to go to the Dominican Republic. Growing up in Brooklyn, I was always kind of trying to learn Spanish. So that was one of my main motivations. And then when I went to the study abroad office, they were telling me they had an exchange in Spain and they also had one in the Dominican Republic. And I just really wanted to explore the Caribbean or Latin America because, so many of my friends growing up in Brooklyn have been, from Latin America, and I was really interested in learning more about the culture and improving my Spanish. So that was kind of the motivation, but, I'm really happy that I got to go there. I can't wait to go back and visit.
So I have a question. So if you could go back to your freshman year, will you advise yourself to do it earlier, to go study abroad earlier? Or Would you just go the time when you went, or would you travel? Would you study abroad twice, or how would that be if you could go back in time?
You know, I don't like to kind of like regret anything that I did or didn't do, but I definitely think if I had the opportunity to study abroad multiple times and I had kind of known about these opportunities earlier in my career, I definitely would have maybe, you know, gone to another country in Latin America or something else like that. So yeah, I definitely think if I had known about it earlier in my career, I would have taken advantage of that. But I actually, one of the things that I'm doing now is applying for the Fulbright Fellowship, which you'll learn more about from Valerie later on. But that's another opportunity to potentially study abroad in another country. So I guess to answer your question, I am hoping to study abroad once again. So yes.
Wonderful. So we have 2 questions in the chat. Can you read it? Do you have access to them? So Marilyn is asking, when could a student become a part of the study abroad program?
So it is flexible. Typically, they recommend at least after your sophomore year because it's usually easier to take courses that are a little bit later in your career. Some of the prerequisites, it's harder to take them abroad. But it definitely is flexible if there's a specific timeline that you want. If you just reach out to the study abroad office, they're very flexible about you know, sharing what they think would be the best timeline for you and what opportunities there are.
And Karina is asking, does Baruch offer different study abroad programs every year, or is it the same ones year after year?
So as far as the exchange programs, which is the one that I did, they've had most of these relationships for many years. So those tend to be pretty much the same every year. There might be a slight variation. But if there is a program that, you know, Baruch doesn't have an exchange with or something like that, you can also, there are other ways to study at pretty much any institution that you'd like to. If you reach out to the study abroad office, they can tell you more about it would be more of an independent study program. So there are ways to study in any country that you would like to.
Wonderful. So I just want to remind everyone that we're giving this information completely out in the handbook. You will have every detail. And also Harmony has shared in the chat the eligibility, so you can click in, you will get more information. And does anyone have any other question for Chelsea? Okay. So I'm assuming that doesn't know. I would like to thank Chelsea once again for coming and for sharing your experience with us. It really, really, we really appreciate it.
Thank you, Daniela, and have a wonderful rest of your event.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So now we would pass the mic to Ingrid Dineo from the Star Career Center. Thank you, Ingrid, for being here.
It's my pleasure. I would like to thank you and Professor Golub for the invitation. My name is Ingrid Tineo, obviously, and I'm the Deputy Director at the Star Career Development Center. I've been at Baruch for quite some time. I'm going to, oh gosh, let me see, let me do the math. Why don't I just say that I've been at Baruch since 1998, I know. It's been a while, but I love it, and I love it because of the students and also, you know, the colleagues that I work with. You know, it's great to meet those of you who I have not interacted and engaged with. And Daniela, thank you for organizing this. You know, this is phenomenal. I love the acronym. I have to tell you, ISLA. It just brings back memories of my summers, and you know, I'm from the Dominican Republic actually. So Chelsea, I know she's gone. I wanted to thank her, for bringing me back. It's been a while since I've been there. So would love to do. That's one of the things I wish I had done in my college years. I had done a study abroad. That's one of the only things that I wish I had done. Every opportunity I get to meet with students, I'm like, do a study abroad. Why not? So I'm sending more students your way. But definitely I'm here to talk to you a little bit more about the career services or the Star Career Development Center and the services that we provide all our undergraduate students. As you know, we do have 4 career centers or offices on campus, but our our Career Center provides services to Zicklin, Weissman, and Mark. Sometimes students forget that. I think that we only provide services to Zicklin. So again, I just want to put it out there. We work with all undergraduate students from the moment you enter Baruch till and beyond, because we actually provide services to the alumni as well. So we don't, we never want to let you go. We hold on to you. So we do offer select services for our alumni. But in terms of services, you name it, we have it. From individual career counseling sessions. So those of you that are grappling, trying to figure out what am I going to do when I grow up, I'm still trying to figure that out myself. Definitely we're here to, support you through that process. We have vocational testing. So it's a great way for you to kind of gauge by taking these vocational or inventories to really get a sense of what your interests, your skill sets, and your personality and how they align with certain careers. So, know that these services are available to you for free. So definitely take advantage of that. So I encourage you to, make sure that you schedule an appointment, to meet with one of our career counselors. You're able to do that through Star Search. I hope that all of you received the welcome email that went out with more information about our services. But all our services are posted in Star Search, which is our online career management system, all the workshops that we host, scheduling career counseling appointments. That's all done through that online career management system. I mean, we've been doing this pre-COVID, so we want to say that we're always ahead of the game in terms of, encouraging our students to really use the system. And as I mentioned, I've been here since 1998. I remember when that wasn't the case, where students, when they had to apply for jobs, students actually had to come to the office, drop off their resume in folders, and then we would package them and deliver them to the employer. So we've come a long way. So definitely take advantage of these online services. There's more information on our website. All of you should know how to get to our website. That's public. So I know we're updating and upgrading it, but just go to baruch.cuny.edu/careers. So there's tons of information there. So go to the student tab, and under the student tab, we wouldn't have tutorials. I remember we had one on how to tie a tie. Which one of our peers for careers actually in one take, because we were getting a lot of questions from students who would attend our career fairs. How do I tie a tie? And we're like, well, let's create a video for that. And sure enough, we did. And I mentioned peers for careers. That's actually we have a couple of professional and leadership training programs that we offer through our office. So if any of you are interested, we have the Peers for Careers programs, and these are students who go through extensive training to deliver services to other students. We find that sometimes students connect better with other students, so we provide that service. We usually select, I want to say maybe approximately 15 to 20 students per year. I mean, it's highly selective, and you get training on doing resume reviews, and then in the second year, you get training on how to do mock interviews. So they do go through extensive training. I'm sure some of you, if you had your resume review and utilize our services, probably met with a peer for career. They're wonderful. They do a great job. So definitely take advantage of that service. We're having a fair. I know I'm looking at don't worry. Let me know, Danielle, give me the sign. I know I'm a little long-winded here, but we're having a career fair. Just want to leave with that and let you know that we have over 60 employers. This is going to be our first ever virtual career fair. For a minute there, we were not sure. I'm like, if we get 40 companies, I'm going to be happy. We have over 60, and the fair is September 25th. So I'm expecting a lot more. We have a little bit of everything for everybody. I mean, earlier today, I actually met with a representative from Teach for America who just signed up, who's also interested. So when I say we have something, for everyone, believe that. But that information is also in Star Search. Because the fair is online, you have to register. So unlike the, in-person activities, and you have to do that for every activity, including the information sessions when We invite representatives from different companies to come to provide you with more information about their opportunities. You have to register for that. Try to do it at least 24 hours in advance so that we can send you the link. So make sure you take advantage. And the last thing I want to say, 3 takeaways is just know in terms of what is it that employers are looking for. I'm always asked that question. At the end of the day, they're looking for a broad, combination of skill sets. I mean, if you want to pursue accounting, of course, you have to be an accounting major. But outside of that, employers are open to all majors. So in terms of you're trying to decide, I always say, pursue your passion. If you're interested in Latin America studies, accounting, psychology, whatever, pursue your passion. At the end of the day, employers want a good GPA, so maintain that good GPA, 3.0 and above, don't let it plummet below that. They're looking for leadership skills, and I know that Daniela is going to talk a little bit about one of the student organizations, but we have over 100 clubs and organizations that join an organization, get involved. Employers reach out to me. They want to connect with clubs. We direct them to the clubs and do an internship. We have tons of those. This past week, we posted over 106 opportunities in our system, and most are internships. So they're still knocking on our door. So just wanted to leave you with that positive note. They're coming, and we're here to provide you with as many opportunities as possible, but then it behooves you to take advantage. So, you got to be in it to win it, right? Who was it that said that, Lotto? So I wish you all the best. We're here to support you, throughout this journey. And thanks again, Professor Golub and Daniela for inviting me to present today.
Thank you, and thank you so much for such an incredible, useful information. We will save the Q&A for Ingrid for the end. So we will continue with the fellowship office. I would hand it over to Valeria.
Hello, everyone. My name is Valerie Hymas. Valeria is actually my formal name, and I do go by that, but informally, I just say Valerie, so you're welcome to use either. Thank you, Danielle. You pulling up my slides?
Yes.
Excellent. So I am the Deputy Director of the Office of National and Prestigious Fellowships Advising here at Baruch College. And the first question students ask me is, whenever I tell them what I do and the services that I provide, they ask, what is a fellowship? And my quick go-to definition of a fellowship is basically funding to do something amazing. There are literally hundreds of different types of fellowship opportunities that are available, and many of them can help connect you to your goals. My office supports students in exploring these opportunities, and then when they find programs that fit their goals, I work with the students on those applications. My office, so just going back to what is a fellowship, fellowships can fund lots of different types of opportunities. So here are a list of examples. So there are fellowships that fund study abroad, and I can tell you a little bit more about those in a moment. Professional development and internships, learning a foreign language, research opportunities, programs that engage with civic and community engagements similar to the Teach for America program. There are fellowships that can fund graduate school and also opportunities to teach abroad, not just here in the United States. So I work with students across the entire college in all fields of study at both the undergraduate as well as the graduate level to explore these options to see what kind of fits in with their goals and what then might be a good thing for them to apply to. Now, the fellowships all are external programs. These are programs that are funded through the government, through nonprofit organizations, through other institutions. One thing students come to me sometimes is seeking funding to attend Baruch to help with their tuition. And that unfortunately is not something that I can assist most students with. That is something the Financial Aid Office and the Department of Scholarships within the Baruch's Financial Aid Office do. These are things that are to help enhance your academic and your professional growth. And the term fellowship and scholarship does get mixed in together. Some fellowships call themselves scholarships, others call themselves fellowships, but don't get caught up too much in those small definitions. I encourage all students to meet with me individually, and I do that virtually, to explore these options. You may be an accounting major who's thinking of study abroad. You may be a MARC student who wants a public service focused internship or professional development opportunity. You may be in the Weissman School and you're looking for opportunities to do research in your field. You really can come to me for almost any type of opportunity. What I'd like to do now is just tell you about a few highlights of fellowship opportunities that kind of tend to, a lot of Baruch students tend to apply for. For example, since Chelsea was talking about study abroad, there actually are numerous funding opportunities to fund your study abroad goals. There are really popular programs. One is called the Benjamin Gilman Scholarship. This is an opportunity for students who can go study abroad anywhere in the world. You can do it for the winter. You can apply for the Gilman for the winter intersession, for the spring, for a spring or a fall semester, for a summer program. In fact, last year, 21 Baruch students won the Gilman. That was a record-breaking year for us, so we're really excited about that. There are other study abroad programs, things like the Freeman Asia Award, which funds study abroad to Southeast and East Asian countries. And there are numerous ones, and I actually have a list of study abroad awards. If you were to go to this website here on the bottom of this slide, you would actually be able to download or access the searchable Baruch Fellowships directory. And you can put in, I'm searching for fellowship or funding for study abroad, and you can get a list, or you can just email me and I can send you a list that I've prepared as well. Now, Chelsea talked about how she's going to apply for the Fulbright program, which she is, and I'm really excited. She's actually applying for a Fulbright award to do a master's degree in sustainable management in Australia. So she's going to another part of the world. The Fulbright program is a graduate level program. I actually don't like to refer to it as a study abroad because it's really different. A study abroad is something you do as an undergraduate and is part of your undergraduate degree. The Fulbright is a cultural exchange program. And it would occur, the earliest you could apply for the Fulbright would be the start of your senior year. And then you have to have that undergraduate degree in hand when you actually participate in the Fulbright program. The Fulbright program goes to 140 different countries around the world. You can, in many countries, earn a graduate degree from a foreign institution. You can design an independent research project in any field of study, no matter what it is. Or you can, and one of the biggest things that I think is a growing opportunity with the Fulbright, you can actually teach English on the Fulbright in about 70 different countries around the world. So there are lots of different things you can do with Fulbright. It is an enormous program. It is very complicated. I actually used to work for the Fulbright program, so I'm here to help you if you want to explore it. For example, just to give you a little sense of timing, when you apply for a fellowship, you actually have to be thinking about this really far in advance. So for example, the application deadline for the Fulbright for the 2021-2022 program is October 13th in a couple of weeks. And so that's more than a year in advance of when you actually probably get going on the Fulbright. But you have to start applying for that many, many months before. So actually, for those of you who are sophomores and juniors, you're going to want to start talking to me about something that's a postgraduate level program in the coming months. Those of you who are seniors, don't fret. Even though you're too late to apply this year, you can apply for the Fulbright pretty much at any time up until you get a PhD. The Fulbright program is a great opportunity, but it's not the only one out there, and it's not for everyone. It does require U.S. citizenship, so it's not for everyone. I support students in things that are domestic. It doesn't have to be international as well. I think the main takeaway I want to express is that just make an appointment with me and let's talk about what it is that you want to do next, what your goals are, and let's find you an opportunity that fits those goals, whether it be study abroad or research or a professional development opportunity. Let's talk, and that's really the best thing that we can do. Just lastly, I just want to say I'm actually holding a few events to actually go into more depth. Thank you, Daniela, for pulling this up. And you can find out about the information sessions that I'm going to be holding this fall at the second link on this slide. In fact, I will be holding a general national prestigious fellowships event on September 17th. And if you go to this link, you would actually be able to get the Zoom ID and the password to attend. It's going to be Thursday, September 17th from 12:45 to 2, typical club hours. But it will be recorded, and then I will post it back up on this website as well, so you can watch it at your leisure at any time. On September 24th, I'm going to have a fellowships information session on public service and civic engagement programs, things like the Truman Scholarship, the NYC Urban Fellows Program, and a number of other different programs that kind of connect to public service and actually relate a lot to fields like political science and civic engagement. So that'd be a great, if that's kind of where you're going, that'd be a great opportunity for you to attend. On October 8th, I'm going to have an information session on study abroad funding focused on foreign language immersion. So things like the critical language scholarship, where you can actually study things like Swahili and Turkish and Arabic and Chinese intensely in the country where those languages are spoken. I'm also going to be talking about a few other study abroad funding opportunities. So that's again October 8th. And on October 29th, I'm having an event for the Jeanette K. Watson Fellowship, which is a really neat opportunity for first year and second year students to receive funding to do 3 paid summer internships exploring different sectors, whether it be nonprofit, private, or government. One of those summers has to be overseas, so you get to go abroad to do an internship somewhere exciting. So all of the dates and access information is on that middle link. The top link, again, is the Searchable Fellowships directory. If something I sampled here doesn't appeal to you and you want something completely different, look it up on the Searchable Fellowships directory, see if something meets with you. And then lastly, there's my email. You can email me and I can also help direct you to a program or an opportunity that fits your goals. And just a reminder, I don't just help students find these opportunities, I help you apply for them as well. So that means reading your essays, which all fellowships require essays, and helping navigate who you should ask for letters of recommendation, giving them support and guidance. So really, my office does offer you a lot of different resources to help you reach your goals and to explore these wonderful programs. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much. I hope you all make sure that you visit her office because they are the whole package and we have to take advantage of that. So to continue with the amazing programs that we have at Baruch, now we will have Harmony talk a little bit about the honors program, which we should all start thinking like right now.
Thank you, Daniela. So as mentioned, my name is Harmony Osei, and I'm the Assistant Director of the Baruch Honors Program. I'm very excited to join you today and be a part of celebrating Latinx Heritage Month. As an Afro-Latina, I'm very excited about this month and all the events that Isla will be presenting to you all. So this is very exciting for me. Also, I'm very happy that I was able to go after all of these wonderful presenters because it made me reminisce on my time as an undergrad and participating in internships. And I too studied abroad to the Dominican Republic, ironically, and I studied abroad to Brazil as well. So very excited to always promote these different offices and the services that they have. And also at the same time, a lot of these different resources relate directly to things that we encourage in the honors program and that we either require or ask students to participate in as an honors scholar. So today there might be some current honors students who are on this call, and there might be some prospective students who are current transfers or first year students who want to join the honors program. And so what you see in front of you today, I wanted to add some visuals because I'm a visual learner. So what we have on the right, you'll see is our honors puzzle. And you'll see 5 different components listed here, which are all things that are at the core of our honors program and encompass components that we want to give to you by the time that you graduate. So at Baruch, when there's over 18,000 students, it's so easy to get lost within that and be seeking for community and trying to build relationships and connections and find yourself. And so being a tight-knit small community within Baruch, we offer that to you through engaging with other honors scholars. And we have 4 honors programs within our department, and there's also other honors programs such as the Zicklin Honors Program, Dean Scholars as well. So for our 4 programs, the 5 components listed here, one at the center is academic excellence. Of course, as an honor scholar, you're going to be expected to maintain a certain GPA, which as Ingrid mentioned, for certain opportunities as well, and also for some fellowships, you'll have to maintain a certain GPA as well as with scholarships at the same time. So you will be held to a certain GPA requirement as an honor scholar. We also expect you to challenge yourself, explore different types of majors and minors, and also be that student that's speaking up in the class, advocating for yourself. So that all includes academic excellence and that theme. Next, we also have research and creative inquiry. So each year we host campus-wide event called Creative Inquiry Day. This past May was the first time that we brought it virtual, of course, due to COVID. And if you're interested in seeing some research projects from your undergrad peers, we do have that up on our website still available, so you can review those different topics and themes. But we do this event every single year, which allows students to present their own research, either with a peer or individualized or something that they did in a class. And it's very well attended. We've had the president, the provost, faculty, staff, all attend and support students in presenting their research. This puzzle piece may also include doing a thesis, for example, or an independent study, which was also mentioned, which allows you to build a connection with a faculty member and also explore discipline more in depth. So this is something that looks amazing on your resume, as Valerie mentioned, if you're thinking about going to grad school, or if you're thinking about going to medical school or anything like that. This looks great on all resumes if you're doing research. And so this is something that we definitely encourage students to participate in. Next, we also have leadership and service. We feel as an honors scholar, it is extremely important for you to be active and engaged, not just in Baruch, but also in your community. You should be someone that is giving back, that's considering the needs of others and underrepresented populations, for example. So we do want our honor scholars to get involved in clubs and organizations. And also they are required to complete community service throughout the academic year. In addition to that, another value that we have is cultural awareness, where you might be able to build upon. I know I did when I studied abroad, and I got lost because I couldn't speak Portuguese and I didn't know where I was going, but I learned a lot about the culture and it was an amazing experience. So we want you to do that abroad. We want you to do that here, because diversity and performing arts are values and things that can really teach you a lot about others. So our honor scholars are required to complete arts and cultural events each academic semester. That may include going to a museum, and for example, the MoMA or the Brooklyn Museum. I'm not sure how many students here are aware that Baruch has its own Michigan Gallery, which has exhibits as well. And currently they are hosting several virtual exhibits available for you on their website. So we encourage students to do things like that, or it could be music, for example. One student submitted that they went to a Taylor Swift concert and that's their favorite artist, and that was perfectly fine. And they went to go see music, and that's something else that we value. So lastly, I also mentioned global experience. That could be service abroad, studying abroad, and also, again, building your global skills and competencies while you're here. So this is the foundation of being an honor scholar. Some of these things are required. Some are things that we encourage, but we feel that it will help you stand out in the crowd. It builds your resume. It will make you more competitive when you go out there and you're looking for internships and jobs, and help you build connections. So if you are a prospective honor scholar, there are two programs you can join, and one is called Inquiry Scholars, one is Provost Scholars. I advise the Provost Scholars, and our director, Jody Clark-Weissman, advises Inquiry Scholars. So just a brief overview of those two programs. If you're looking for kind of the same holistic experience, then I would encourage you to explore the Provost Scholars program, which does require you to complete 8 to 10 honors classes. You do community service each academic year and attend cultural events, and you're able to graduate with college honors on your diploma, which looks amazing. Alternatively, or in addition, if you're someone that's really interested in research, so you want to further explore a discipline and somewhat become a pro at that particular field of study, you're really interested in theory and methodology, you're thinking, again, maybe going to get a graduate degree or go to medical school, you want to be competitive and build a relationship with the faculty member. I know that there's some classes that are like 100 students. You want that one-on-one relationship with the professor. This is a great way to do that, because you would conduct research. Instead of doing community service or cultural events, you would partake in research related activities, which might be presenting in our Creative Inquiry Day, completing a digital portfolio, going to a research conference. And you also have the opportunity to gain departmental honors by doing a thesis. So these are two programs I highly recommend that you consider. More information about this is available on our honors website. We have an informational session that we recorded since we couldn't do it in person. We put that on our website, which is available for you along with the application process. So just in closing, I would say, if you're interested, feel free to email us at baruch.honors@baruch.cuny.edu to find out more information. And also just knowing that this program has so many different benefits. One is that students do get priority registration, so that's always a plus. If you know, with the thousands of students we have, it's like, it's very hard to get your preferred class schedule. So our students do register first, which is great. And then they also have individualized advisors. So if you're looking to have a relationship with an advisor who can guide you throughout your career and get an appointment whenever you need to and speak to someone one-on-one, we do have individual advisors for each of these programs, along with several other benefits. So feel free to reach out, and I'm happy to answer any other questions you have about gaining this holistic experience and really making the most of your college career.
Thank you so much for sharing this amazing information with us, and thank you all the speakers. Now Professor Gallo would introduce us to two more programs that we have at Baruch, which unfortunately couldn't join us today. So Professor Gallo, please take it away.
All right, thank you so much. And thanks to our fantastic speakers. I'm just so excited by everything, which I were an undergrad again, right? So I'm going to talk to you about two resources that we have at Baruch, which are that are designed to really help support your academic success, but also your professional success. And the first is the Writing Center. So the Writing Center offers free support to all Baruch students, and they provide professional consultants to help you with all different kinds of writing issues. I, as a professor, highly recommend my students to avail themselves of the Writing Center. You can bring an assignment that you're having trouble getting started. You can bring an assignment that you've already completed for someone to help you with a draft. The Writing Center can help you structure your ideas. They can help you think about how to do proper citation. There are all these different ways in which, if you hit a wall or you find something that you don't know, they are there to help you and to support you. Because as we know, even and particularly in the online world, writing it's never gone out of style, and it's very, very important for all Baruch students to be able to be really strong writers. They offer one-on-one consultations. They can give you written feedback by email. They have online workshops. And this is they're available during this time when we are socially distanced. They are available online. And in the fantastic handbook that Daniela has put together, there is information about how to contact the Writing Center. And we have the second resource I want to talk about is the William and Anita Newman Library. I must tell you that I am the daughter of a librarian. So I grew up in libraries, and so maybe that's part of the reason I ended up as a college professor. But as a Baruch professor, I can't tell you how much I admire the librarians and the staff at the Newman Library. The Newman Library is there for you, for your research needs, and to help you be the best student you possibly can be. During regular times, they're also an incredible resource as a student center for getting together with groups that are working on group projects to be able to have as a quiet study space. But they also are working very hard right now in the virtual environment to provide digital resources, to provide textbooks on loan when we can. They're working on that as well. And they work on interlibrary loan, getting resources that may not be at Baruch. They offer workshops on how to do research. If you're working on an honors thesis, the library are they're in fact kind of research assistants for you while you're doing your research on your honors thesis or any kind of research project. I've also invited librarians to come to my class to give library workshops. They are great professionals that combine subject matter knowledge with great knowledge about research techniques and research resources that are available, particularly the electronic resources. And so there is a chat with the librarian available as well, and all of this information is available on the handbook. But again, I highly recommend getting to know librarians early and often. The chats are fantastic. They can really point you in the direction of resources that you may need to be able to complete your assignments. And again, very highly recommend both the Writing Center and the William and Anita Newman Library. And in the future, and we're hoping this will be at the near term future, we are receiving a wonderful donation of a collection of Latin American literature and history from our donor, Mrs. Hetty Fight. We will be setting up this Valentin Lisana Iparrague library collection in a room in the library where Isla will have a home. So we're also really looking forward to getting back into that beautiful library building. It's in fact one of the most beautiful buildings on the Baruch campus, as a gathering place for our initiative as well. So thank you, Daniela. Back to you.
Thank you, Professor. So we can move on to the Q&A session. I just want to quickly share with you some of the student organizations. As you have heard from many of the speakers, leadership is very important. It's not only good in the resume, but it's also good for you to get out of your comfort zone and for you to explore new areas and join communities and grow with your peers. And we want to give a special thanks to ASEDON, the Dominican student associations, who are co-sponsoring the event, and they're also here. And along with them, we are also partnering with ALFA, Association of Latinos Professionals for America, and LASO, the Latin America Student Organizations. I will share their all the information related to when they meet, their email, their leadership, absolutely everything is in the handbook. But I will be sharing their Instagram page in a second, so you could follow them and be updated about their events and what they're doing. They're amazing. I am a huge fan of all of them. I think it's an amazing opportunity for us to explore the things that Baruch has to offer and explore our identity as Latinos. So I will be sharing that with you in a second. And with that said, I think we're ready for our Q&A session. If you have any questions for Professor Golub or any other speakers or absolutely anything else, please feel free to share it or unmute yourself. Right, so we have the first question, and it's from Stephanie. It's for Ingrid, and she wants to know, how can Ingrid be reached?
Sorry, Stephanie. And it shows there's no appointments found when I click on your name. Oh, that's because I have no appointments right now in the system. And but there are tons of wonderful counselors. I mean, I'm more than happy, since of course you attended this event. If you want to reach out to me privately, feel free to do so. But I don't want to hold you up, because I know that you have to submit your resume in order to be able to participate in the upcoming career fair. It's just that, you know, I've been immersed in planning for this virtual career fair and reaching out to tons of employers to make sure that we have tons of opportunities for you there. But definitely feel free to reach out to me. It's really ingrid.teneo@baruch.cuny.edu. Thank you, Stephanie.
Any other questions? This is your moment for any of the speakers.
Hi, I don't know if it's really a question related, but hi, so I'm Stephanie. And I'm from Brazil, so I'm very excited to be here and then hear, about Latin America. So I transferred from BMCC last fall, and unfortunately, I don't know. I feel like I'm learning a lot more about the resources the Baruch offers just right now, and I'm supposed to graduate next spring. And I was just thinking if I'm like kind of like falling behind these resources, and or if still there's time to take advantage of some of them, even though I'm graduating next spring.
I'm happy to answer that. In terms of some of them, and Stephanie, it's great. I love to see the faces of, I know everybody has their video turned off. If all of you can turn on your videos, I mean, that's the one thing I have to say I do miss. But yeah, I'm more than happy to, connect with you after this. But, in terms of the transfer students, I mean, that's one of the things with the transfer students, right? Because you're coming in kind of later in your career. But the opportunities are there. I mean, the only thing with the transfer students is you definitely have to hit the ground running. I mean, but employers are looking in terms of internships, from sophomore to senior. So it really depends on ultimately on what you want to do. I definitely encourage you. I see that you already did. You checked the system. I love it. You're already there checking and looking for an appointment. But, definitely look at Star Search and, now that you know and you have access, because everything is posted there. I would encourage you to go to as many information sessions as you can, just like you're doing with this one. And phenomenal job, Daniela and Professor Golob. But just continue to go to as many information sessions as possible, because it's another great way also for you to connect with some of the employer partners. And oftentimes you're going to find that they also invite alumni, recent alumni, to participate in these activities. Great way for you to connect. I would say, definitely use LinkedIn to your advantage. If there's any companies that you're targeting, start your connection now. You want to start building your community, your network, but no, it's not too late. It's never too late. I mean, you're in the right place. I'm glad you're here. We made a connection. So you have somebody now on your team. So looking forward to continuing and helping you as you progress through your career.
And I can also add, I think you said you're graduating this upcoming spring or the following spring. So next semester. Yep. So so for the honors specific programs, you do need a couple more semesters remaining in order to fully take advantage of completing the co-curriculars. But one thing I will say that you can definitely still explore is doing an independent study, because the independent study, you apply the semester prior to do that. So it's a one-term research course, whereas the thesis is a 2-semester class and you apply the semester before. So you need 3 terms. So definitely I would say if you're thinking of exploring another discipline, there's a topic or theme that you are interested in and you want to develop a relationship with a faculty member, I would definitely say to explore that. Sometimes these courses can apply towards your degree requirements somewhere, whether it's like the major, minor, or like just your liberal arts or elective credits. So I think that's definitely an honors related activity. Engaging in some type of research would be something that I would definitely still recommend. And I don't know if Valerie's office actually, it falls under the honors program as well. So we're actually colleagues. I'm not sure if you have anything that you recommend for her as a senior.
Yeah, I mean, because all of the programs that I work with, they're all independent. They all have different eligibility criteria. They all do different things. They have different deadlines. Really, it's just about like checking out the ones that kind of match your interests and your goals, and determining whether or not you are eligible to apply. Many programs are postgraduate in nature, so you don't have to be a current student when you do apply. Some do require that you're a current student. Some require you apply and you're in a specific field of study. So there's a lot of variety, a lot of opportunity, a lot of versatility. And unfortunately, sometimes you'll find some things like, gosh, if I wish I'd known that when I was a sophomore, I can't apply now. And that is unfortunate, but there are often other opportunities that will fit your goals that you can apply for later. I do work with alumni. I think I didn't mention that before, but if you graduate and you come back to applying for the Fulbright later on, I still will work with you. Another thing about the Writing Center actually partners with me in helping our candidates for nationally competitive fellowships. They're working with me right now to prepare our Fulbright candidates who are applying. So they will work with alumni in the cases of when you are applying for a fellowship that requires Baruch nomination. So that's another thing that they're great at. I can't talk enough about how wonderful the Writing Center is at Baruch. So I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, thank you. Harmony, can you just remind me, what is the program that you said that you have time to?
Yep, so you can explore enrolling into an independent study. So that is a one-term research course that you take. So it's not necessarily a class that you go to like Monday, Wednesday, twice a week or anything, but it is a course where you work directly one-on-one with a faculty member to further explore a specific discipline. So if you want, you could also go, I don't know if you said your major, are you like a business, Weissman?
Yeah, I'm communications majors with a minor in political science.
Okay, perfect. Yep. So if you want, as a starting point, you could go to the Weissman website, or on the honors website, there is a tab that says research. And if you go there, we actually link several resources for research. We link a guidebook from the Library Center, since we do have a specific librarian that helps students with research. And we also have the independent study application for Weissman majors specifically. So you could see that form there, understand the application process, and then really think about what type of subject you would want to explore and begin connecting with a faculty member so that you can fill out that paperwork and register for that research independent study for next semester. And if I can just also, I see Jessica had a question about what advice would you give first-year students? I would say, Jessica, definitely, if you're interested in joining honors, it's the perfect time because sometimes students do find out a little later and then it's too late for them to kind of navigate through the honors programs. So definitely, my name is Harmony. You can go on the honors website. Feel free to email me directly and I can talk to you about the honors program. The first step of joining that program as a first-year student is to take an honors class. So once you got a GPA after this semester, if this is your first term, you would reach out to me and I would actually give you permission to register for an honors course. And that's how you become eligible to join the Provost Scholar program. Or we can start discussing research. So definitely it's a perfect time. It's never too early to start thinking about joining the honors program, as well as some of these resources from my colleagues.
Do we have any other questions? Because we are out of time. But if you have any questions, we will share the emails of all the speakers, so you will have their information as well as our information. If you have any questions, you should feel free to ask and email them. They're really nice, as you can tell. So I want to once again thank you everyone for coming. Thank you all the speakers for this wonderful information. I hope everyone can take advantage of all the amazing resources Baruch offer. And thank you for coming and for being here. Have a nice day.
Thank
and
you.
a wonderful weekend. Bye, everyone.
Take care.
Bye, phenomenal. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks to everybody.
Bye.
Thank you,
Take
Daniela.
care. Bye-bye.
Bye. All right.
Hey,
We're alone. Yes. 1 second. I just want to, I managed to, at the very last minute, managed to get a very rudimentary screenshot. So let me get a screenshot of you. I'm going to stop recording. Thank you, Daniela.